Hi, I am going to show you how to take Feverfew cuttings today. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Ellie and I am an urban cut flower grower here in Taupo, New Zealand. That's gardening zone 9B. I love sharing all things container planting, cut flower growing, veggie growing, and also garden design. So if you're into any of those things, I would really appreciate it if you followed along. So Feverfew can be a little tricky to start from seed. I have success with it, and then one year I just really struggled to get any sort of germination on it. So I have now resorted to taking cuttings from my already established plants. So cuttings are a great way to multiply your stock without having to grow from seed. And when you take cuttings, it's going to be a direct copy of the parent plant. So I have a couple of different varieties of Feverfew growing out in the garden. So when I take a cutting from that, the plant that grows from that cutting will be a clone of the parent plant. So you can see on this plant here, it's got quite a lot of growth now, and I took this, it would have been around 3 or 4 months ago now. And if I just gently pull this out of the pot, you can see the roots that have formed on there now. So I put a couple of different cuttings in that pot because it was such a large one. And you can see that I have, I can even divide that. You can see there from the different cuttings that I put in. I can divide that when I plant it, and I have around 3 new plants from those cuttings. So that is a more established one. I will show you ones that are maybe 3 weeks old. Okay, so these ones, they're looking a little bit sad, but don't worry, it's just because they aren't as established as the other ones yet. So they look sad, but they're such a tough plant. And if I just gently ease this out, you can see, that's a good shot, the roots there have just started to come out of it. So this will start to perk up eventually once those roots are a little bit more established. It looks a little sad now, but I'm not stressed about it. They are tough. So I'll just pop that back in gently. So this one, as I said, is about 3 weeks old. And then this is a tray that I have just taken today. So I just put them in a nice kind of free draining potting mix and water them in well once I have taken those cuttings. But I'll go out into the garden now and show you how I take cuttings from my plants. So these are in the same family as chrysanthemums, if you've seen my video on how to take chrysanthemum cuttings. But you can see here, this is an old plant now that has gone to seed. This was grown from seed last year, so it will be heading into its 2nd year as a plant going into spring, summer this year. Now, if I go down to the base of the plant, you can see new shoots coming from the bottom, just like in my chrysanthemum video. So I'm just going to pull that off. You can snip it, and I will show you what I have here. So I'm trying to show you the stem. So that is the stem, and it's a decent cutting in terms of size. It's a couple of inches long, and I'm just going to strip these bottom leaves. So I will take this inside and show you what that looks like in a second. I'll just see if we can get some more examples. This is another variety here as well, and I'm just going down to the base of the plant, and I can see a nice shoot that is coming off the bottom there, just like that. So again, I'll take that in and strip the leaves in a second. Now, I've already cut most of my Feverfew back, but I'm trying to find you an example. So sometimes you will, just when you're trimming them, you'll get a piece like this, and you can see that there's lots of different shoots coming off that kind of one piece of stem. Now you can see if I just break these off, the smaller ones, you get a little bit like that. Now they root so easily that would probably have a chance. And I'm going to stick it in anyway, but ideally you want a little bit longer of the stem in there from those side shoots. So if I look back to the ones I just took before, you'll see once I strip these back, that just has a little bit of a longer stem, and I have found that these are more viable and they root a little bit easier rather than having a really short stem on that cutting. So before I cut them back, all of the stems that I as I did the chop, had multiple shoots coming off them, just like this one. So I could have planted all of those up if I wanted to, and again, they are very easy and they root very easily. I don't use a rooting powder. So you can see how quickly you can multiply your stock just from one plant. I've kind of got more than enough now, so I won't be taking many more cuttings this year, but I do cut them back just to promote longer stems when they come back in spring. Oh, that's another good example. See if I can snap this off with one hand. So you can see there, an old bit of woody stem, and then the new shoots are coming up from that one. That one there is actually quite a nice bit, so I might take that one in as well. And again, I'll just strip the leaves, the lower leaves. So peaceful out here at this time. So lovely. I'm not on dinner duty tonight, so I've got 5 minutes of peace. So I'll just take these into the greenhouse and show you how I pop them up. So you can see here, these are some of the ones that I took earlier, and these are the cuttings I've just taken from outside now. So you're going to want to strip the leaves that are on the stem there. That's kind of enough for a Feverfew cutting, and then I'm just going to cut below a leaf node on that as well. And I want, a little bit tricky for you to see, I want the inside of that stem there to be green, so not woody. Might take it a little bit higher just to get rid of more of that woodiness. Nice and green in there. And then I'm just going to make a hole in my potting mix. And just tuck it in there so it's nice and snug. And I'll do the same with this one. So just strip the bottom leaves, snip below a little node there, and a little higher too. So you just strip some of these top leaves back just so the plant isn't kind of exerting a lot of its moisture before it's got roots and can handle that. So again with this, just stripping some of those leaves. Let's cut that one there. And with kind of cells this size, I'm sticking a few cuttings in here because you'll see with that big pot that I had at the start that you can always just kind of pull them apart when you're ready to plant them out. And this will be more than enough root space for them before I want to put them out when they're ready, kind of mid-spring. So you can see there I've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 new plants that will be growing in there. So when you take your cutting as well, you just don't want any flowers on that. You just want a cutting that's just leaves. I can see a few flower buds on one that I took earlier today, so I'm just going to pinch those off. It will be okay. There we have it. So I'm going to water those in, and then I'm going to put them in on a shelf in the greenhouse that it's really bright, but it doesn't get a lot of direct sunlight. So I don't want to frazzle these before the roots are established, so they're just going to go bright place, but not a whole load of direct sunlight on them. So here you can see just the different stages of cutting. So these are nice established cuttings that are now kind of plants on their own. They've got a really nice root system. They've been going for about 3 or 4 months. This plant here, who's just started to form roots from a cutting that I took about 3 weeks ago. And then these are my new cuttings, which will probably start looking a little bit sad before they start looking like that, but they'll be okay. Just try and resist that temptation to keep checking for roots and just let them do their thing. If you're looking for some Feverfew matricaria variety inspiration. My favourite varieties are the just kind of classic single, the Tetra White Wonder and White Crown. Now, if you have trouble with Feverfew kind of flopping after you have cut it, it really does like that long kind of 12-hour rest and the morning cut for it to kind of hydrate again. If you wanted to grow a variety that is a little bit less temperamental and doesn't kind of wilt at the drop of a hat as soon as you cut it, I really recommend the White Crown. The kind of individual stems that hold up the flower heads are a lot more sturdy than your just kind of classic single Feverfew. So if you're looking to try out a new variety, I really recommend White Crown. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I love to know how you're getting on in your growing spaces. So if you have tried to grow Feverfew from a seed before and it hasn't worked out and you're now resorting to cuttings, please let me know how you get on and if this video has helped you as well. I will see you next time.